Madam President, tomorrow marks the 13th anniversary of 9/11, and our thoughts turn to the Americans we lost that day and to the men and women who showed such heroism above and beyond the call of duty. Firefighters, police, first responders, and Americans from all walks of life showed on that day that though terrorists might try to destroy our way of life, they cannot keep us down. Americans do stand together when we are threatened. Since that day, to support the global war on terror, the Defense Department says about 2.5 million Americans, members of the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Coast Guard, and related National Guard units, have been deployed in Afghanistan and Iraq war. 2.5 million. Of those, more than a third were deployed at least one time. More than 11,000 lost their lives in those two wars. There are ways we can show our gratitude and help our veterans, including service members from Operation Enduring Freedom and Operation Iraqi Freedom. Tomorrow, I'm introducing with Senator Blumenthal of Connecticut the Veterans Small Business Enhancement Act. It will allow veterans who own small businesses to participate in GSA's Excess Federal Property Program. This program makes items that the federal agencies no longer need available to nonprofits and other groups who have a justifiable need for the property. We're talking about everything from vehicles to computers, office furniture, tools, even heavy construction equipment. Participants in the program can claim the items for their businesses if they demonstrate a justifiable need for the property and they agree to pay for shipping and handling, so there's no expense to the federal government. By keeping their equipment overhead low in this way, these small businesses can grow their businesses. If unclaimed, the federal property has to be disposed of by our government as excess property, and that costs money. The items have to be organized in a location, photographed, cataloged, and ultimately auctioned off to scrap dealers who pay just pennies on the dollar. The National Association of State Agencies for Surplus Property, which helps facilitate the GSA's Excess Federal Property Program, estimates that taking surplus property off the federal government's hands, pairing it with those who could use it, saved the U.S. $200 million last year alone. Minority-owned small businesses participate in this program now and have since 1999. My bill would extend that opportunity to veteran-owned small businesses as well. Veterans throughout Illinois have contacted me to let me know how the surplus property program might help their businesses. Jim Ward, for example, a retired Army veteran, owns a popular tile company in Mount Sterling, near my hometown in west central Illinois. His small business could benefit from maintenance equipment typically found in the federal surplus program. Tile saws and cutters, knee pads, mixers, scrapers, trowels, and other hand tools are all items that appear from time to time in the program. He says he doesn't need state-of-the-art equipment. Getting his hands on something that works would be a big to his veteran-owned business. Then there's veteran Jim Sodero, owns a bar and a snow removal business in Springfield. There are quite a few surplus items that could help him operate his business and free up his resources for paying his employees and overhead. Jim says he needs things like tables and brooms, paint, hand tools. His snow removal business needs a pickup truck and other vehicles. Heard from Jason Harris, Marine Corps veteran, runs a landscaping business in Carbondale. Shawnee Landscaping designs and installs patios, fencing, and retaining walls. Mr. Harris could benefit from federal surplus equipment too. Bobcats, tractors, loaders, hand tools, office supplies. Tom Lomolino, a retired Army vet and owner of the Lomolino Sign Company in Jacksonville, makes and installs advertising signs. He could use a bucket truck, a backhoe, or other equipment for installation and maintenance. All of these Illinois veterans have a legitimate need for items that otherwise would go to waste and we would pay to destroy. Wouldn't it be better to put these items in the hands of veterans so that their businesses can succeed and they can hire people in their local communities? I think so. Small business is the engine of the American economy. Our veterans have served our country well. Let us serve their next phase in life and make sure their businesses are successful. I encourage my colleagues who want to support the veterans and dispose of surplus property in a productive way, not an expensive way, so that it continues to make money for the United States, to join me in supporting this legislation, and I yield the floor.